We live. It's the DanYo&Tita podcast.
Yo.
We back.
We in the motherfucking house. Oh, excuse my language. We in the house. Yeah.
I'm DanYo.
I'm Tita.
Aisha.
I'm Dip to the lean.
Yeah. We're back with another show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do want to shout out Mike Terrell.
Yeah, man.
You know, we got the, what's that? What do you got on the hats?
Pay your legends.
The Pay Your Legends, my brim.
Yeah, got the
You know
brim
what I'm
on.
saying? Hooked it up, man.
Got us on there. Let's shout out our sponsors real quick. That's how we're going to start off this show. www.waywordkid.com, your site for all your entertainment news, sports, and lifestyle trends. And they also have the Wayward Kid Foundation for all your editing program classes.
There you go.
We also got Kiwi Juice Bar with all natural smoothies, sports nutrition supplements, fresh pressed juice, gourmet coffee, and protein bars. We got healthy snacks and nutrition education as well. And we also can't forget their all vegan menu and burgers, chicken sandwiches.
We might have some today.
Oh, yeah.
We might have some today.
I heard they got some vegan cookies too on the menu.
I still haven't tried those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the top donator?
Ms. Joanne Mohammed, our lovely top donator.
Yeah. Shout out to her. She got a book coming soon.
Yes.
And don't forget to like our Facebook page, DanYo&Tita Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, DanYo&Tita, the YouTube channel. Follow us on IG, DanYo&Tita Podcast. Follow us on Spotify. You can also listen on there, DanYo&Tita Podcast. And let's shout out to our new sponsor, We Shine Detailing.
Yeah.
Tita, grab him up. We Shine Detailing is the new sponsor of the
We
DanYo&Tita
shine.
Podcast.
Oh, that's the man, though. That's that dude.
Yeah, that's that dude over there. And you know, we got the gift to grab.
That's the, hey, man, that's
You
dope,
know what I'm
man.
saying?
We shine. I mean, that's how we make it together, man.
Yeah.
That's how we all shine. We
Yeah,
all, help
exactly.
each other, man.
We
What?
got the shirt games. Look at that.
Oh, man.
The I am
Make
the
sure you-
bag swag.
Yeah, I've been wanting one of these for a while, man. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man.
So we got the
I been seeing these all over.
follow
man.
We Shine Detailing on Facebook. Hit them up. They do great.
Oh, man.
He was out there this morning cleaning up. I'm
Wow.
telling you right now. So we got
Hey.
the shirt. Also order the shirts they have available. I am the
Yeah,
bag
man.
shirts.
Get you one, man.
Man, clean out here.
Man.
So show them out, Tita. Look at that right there. Got ladies, fellas, all that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, man. I
Yeah.
definitely, man.
So
That's that.
I've been checking people out flossing with theirs
man,
online. I've been getting kind of
you know,
upset.
we taking our picture.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man.
This going on the gram, y'all.
That's on the gram.
It's
Right,
going
shout
on the gram.
Definitely. Shout out to We Shine Detailing, the new sponsor of DanYo&Tita Podcast.
So pretty.
Yep. Like that
Pink
Facebook.
Inspire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What you got? You got the black one right
Oh,
there.
yeah. Yeah, I'm saying.
I haven't took mine out the bag. I'm gonna wait till the end of the show.
Yeah, man.
I am the bag. Remember, you are the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So, like We Shine
You the
Detailing.
bag.
Follow Roqy on his music page as well. He's doing a lot of things.
Man,
over
the
there.
dude is a major contender to the city.
Most definitely.
Contributor.
Yeah, he's handling his business out there. We got a guest over the phone interview today. It's gonna be a great show.
Dope show.
Let's see if we can get him on the line. Lamont
Hawley,
Hawley.
director, producer,
Yeah, actor.
actor.
He had a couple of shows. He's located in Texas. He's handling his business.
Inspirational speaker also.
Yeah.
So he a man of many different hats and
Multimedia.
Definitely.
Yeah, so let's see if we can get him on the phone real quick and dial him up.
Hello?
You're live on the DanYo&Tita Podcast. How you doing, sir?
Man, what's going on?
How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I've been so excited to speak to y'all, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We've been excited to speak to you. A lot of people been telling us that we need to get you on the show.
Yep.
And when you get a demand like that, we got to get you on.
Definitely.
See, now y'all got me blushing. Now I'm just blushing.
Yes, sir.
I see that you're a man of many, many hats. You are your director, actor, inspirational speaker, writer, publisher. How did you get started in directing and writing movies there?
Man, you want the honest to God truth? This what happened. I got a divorce, and when I got a divorce, man, it's just like my mind just opened up to write. I just started writing books. I got 10 books published, and after that,
I gotta give you a horn for that.
Wow, 10 books, man.
Yeah, and after that, man, I just started doing making movies, doing videos, and making movies, man. It's went from there.
Wow. That's definitely inspirational, man, to anyone that's that want to get started and get themselves out there and start making movies. It's exciting to see someone, a black person who's coming from the struggles that we all know of and still be able to come through and make great movies. It's very exciting. What was your first movie that started everything off?
Man, our first movie was called Trigger.
Okay.
And Trigger dealt with mental illness because I try to make movies that make sense. Mm-hmm. And I try to deal with a lot of movies that deal with the black community.
Right.
Things that we ignore. So my first movie was dealing with mental illness.
Okay.
And a young lady called her husband from work, and she thought somebody was chasing her, but she was having an episode, and that was his first time ever experiencing anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about his love and trying to get her some help. And so that was my very first movie.
All right. And what made you want to touch on the subject of mental health? I mean, that's a taboo subject in the black community that's something that definitely needs to be spoken up on more. What made you touch on that? Figured you need to touch on that subject.
Well, for one reason is because my first marriage, I dealt with mental illness, and it surprised the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't know about mental illness. I was raised in the church, and everything that wasn't right was a spirit. It was an evil spirit. So I didn't know anything about mental health or mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And so that made me start digging deeper and finding out that our community needs to know more about mental health and mental illness.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I definitely agree with you. It's something that we definitely need to hear more about. I'm reading up on the movie. I'm definitely going to be checking up. I looked at a lot of your visuals and checked everything out. I'm loving everything that you're doing. What are you trying to do for the future? For future movies? Are you have anything that you're working on now?
Yeah, man, sure. I'm constantly working on it. I had back in March, I started working with on another movie, but my dad passed away, so that put everything on hold. Oh, no problem. Thank you. And then the coronavirus came, so they kind of put a lot of things back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have several projects I'm working on, and I have one movie that's ready, but they closed down the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so and I don't see things opening up like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to find a way to stream this movie. It's called Losing Hope.
Okay.
It's about a young lady who disappeared from school when she was like 12 years old.
Wow.
And she showed up 12 years later knocking on the door with a kid saying she was home.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's dealing with, that in the movie called Losing Hope.
Wow, that sounds exciting, man.
Teen pregnancy.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Yeah, I like your ideas. Do you have do you have a group of people that sit around and come up with your ideas, or is just you out here working, getting it together by yourself?
See, dude, you just stole my question right there.
I write my own movies and I come up with my own ideas.
Wow.
But I have a group of people out here in Dallas that's working with me.
Okay.
So when I get these ideas and I get these thoughts, I can just call them and say, "Hey, I need some actors," and they jumping on it. I'm talking about they are on it, man. So yeah, I have a group of people like David. David got in contact with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, and David acted in a couple of my movies. So
He never told us that he was an actor.
He never told. He never
he
indulged that
playing
information.
games.
Trying to be all humble with it.
But David is acting in a couple of my movies. One of my movies I did last year was called Domestic, and that movie was had a great audience with it because it was dealing with domestic violence in the gay community.
Oh wow, okay.
Wow, definitely.
So you're touching a lot of real topics.
Yeah, man. Those are complex topics in the black community.
Definitely, because
I don't want
mental illness and being black in the community definitely go hand in hand, because I think they deal with a lot more mental health issues than
Right.
Definitely.
I agree. And so, and with domestic, we touched on I got this movie I came out with last year also. I had two of them come out premiere last year. And the second one was called Final Approach, and that dealt with childhood molestation.
Wow.
Oh, gosh.
And the response from that movie was outstanding, because I had people inboxing me saying, man, I was molested, and and even when you're dealing with the LGBT community, a lot of people from that community have been molested.
Right.
You'll be surprised at how great the numbers are. So if you got a community that's built on, or that's really established in lifestyles that's based on molestation, but nobody ever addressed the molestation.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be perpetual. They're gonna keep on happening, and people are constantly getting molested, and we ignoring it in our community. So
That's
I'm like,
real.
somebody needs to be a voice.
No, that's real.
Somebody needs to be a voice. So
No, that's big of you to step up and be that voice, because it's definitely needed, and it's something that a lot of people do not want to talk about. So
Correct. So
yeah.
What makes you touch the? Yeah, no, there's a lot of subjects you touch, but what makes you touch these very sensitive topics like the?
Because one reason is, like people ask, like when I did this movie Domestic, now this is my first time, but we was all in the gay clubs filming everything. A lot of my cast members were from the LGBT community.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a cultural shock to me. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Because I didn't know a lot about it.
Right.
But see, that's one problem we have. A lot of times we don't want to step outside our comfort zone and create greatness.
Yeah.
I'm like, just because you're not part of that lifestyle don't mean that lifestyle needs to be exposed when it comes to domestic violence.
That's real.
So it's
Correct.
like, I'll do it. And then I got to the point, I don't care what people think. I'm going to make movies. You can either watch them or not, but I'm going to get the message out there. That's just what it is.
Definitely. And what were some of your inspirations to make movies? Who were some of the people that you looked up to?
Man, be honest with you, I don't have any examples on directors and stuff like that, and say, hey, there's my inspiration. I really don't.
Right.
A lot of my inspiration came from my passion for people to be healed. And I was in ministry for 20-some years, man. A lot of people don't know this. But
you can kind of tell by the way you talk, though.
Yeah. Preach on.
Right.
The only thing he missing is
and look, when I was in ministry, you would never hear me talk about no I'm in there like, hey man, can you breathe?
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of it came from ministry, and I was in ministry, and I saw so many people hurt,
Right.
and I see so many people hide behind religion, and they never heal.
Right.
They're in the church, but they're still not healed. And it's like, what's the purpose of the church if it's not going to bring forth healing?
That's real.
Church not supposed to bring forth hiding.
Right.
So what I decided to do was use my platform for movies and still try to touch on people being healed and set free and delivered. So that's why I do it. So now a lot of people that I knew from the church world probably wouldn't watch my movies.
Right.
Because like the last movie I came out with, Final Approach, it dealt with these young people went to counseling and they had to their last session was called the Final Approach, where the CEO kidnapped the people that hurt them and tied them to a chair and let them vent, let them talk about how they hurt them and how molestation affected their lives. So a lot of people wanted me to do this kind of movie, It don't have any profanity in it. Don't have any cursing in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, yeah, no, it's gonna have some profanity. It's gonna have some. Well, can y'all curse on y'all stage?
Oh yeah, keep it real.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna have some. Why the fuck you touch me? Why you playing with me? Why you molesting me?
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be real life because molestation is real, man.
It is.
So,
it is.
It ain't rated G when you get molested.
Yeah,
it's rated R.
A lot of people are afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, man. They want to ignore
Yeah.
it. So, and that's huge coming from the church community, and you would be able to reach out to the LGBTQ community and go out there and hear their story and talk about the things that's happening to them and those that have been molested.
Right.
Those are the huge steps that needs to be taken for the community.
Yeah, I like how you touch all avenues from different people's cultures and all that. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, man.
You keeping people aware of everything that's going on.
Definitely.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Definitely.
And you're a hard-working man. I see you have a long list of filmography here that you're working on. You have shorts and all of them. Been working hard since 2016.
Got his own shows and all that.
Yeah, man. I mean, the man has been putting in work. We want to give you a hand for that because I know how tough it is. I want to ask one quick question though. How do you come up with your budgets? How do you plan? You say, I need this much money. I need $15,000 for us to do this. How do you set your budgets, or how do you figure out, hey, maybe this time let's try to get a bigger budget and try to get people more involved in what we're doing, for I can try to take another step up. How do you figure out those things and where you're headed to?
Okay, this is what I do, and a lot of people won't follow me with this, but I've learned. Okay, somebody's microphone fell up. Somebody done passed out of y'all. What I've learned. Oh, she fell for real?
No. She just bumped the microphone.
She just bumped the microphone.
Well, what I've learned to do is not allow budget to stop me from moving.
Okay.
Because when people focus so much on budget, they don't move.
Okay.
Right.
It'd be years. They sitting on the stand, well, I'm waiting for the time, the money, and everything else. So I've learned to move without a budget.
Okay.
You know, I use what I have. I've done so many movies with no budget.
Okay.
And I've learned how to do movies creatively.
Okay.
Like this last movie, Final Approach.
Mm-hmm.
We did Final Approach in 5 days.
Wow.
And I used a basement. Okay, I'm saying this on the radio to all of my DISD employees. I did a basement at one of the schools in Dallas.
Wow.
So what happened was I saved a lot of money because I didn't have to do a movie set in different locations.
Okay.
I used one location and I was able to film in 5 days. And I already had all my own lights, microphones, cameras, everything else. Because I tell a lot of people what I done was years ago, instead of spending my income tax on a darn TV again or some little used beat up car, I invested into my dream where I bought cameras and microphones. So I tried to use my money wisely when I had it. So some of the things that we did was free.
Okay.
Some of the locations were free. Some of the actors that came along were new actors. So they didn't try to charge me, you know, but I still took care of them with food and everything else I needed to.
Right.
But that's how I did my budgets for the movies.
Wow.
Brilliant.
I find good locations, and I find stuff that I don't have to film in 30 different locations and have to pay everybody for every location that I film in.
Right.
So I saved a lot of money in that, you know. And so that's what I do. Later on in the future, I want to be a bigger. I want more people to see my movies, and
you're killing the year in movie. You said you're in movie theaters.
Yeah, well, what we do is, we rent them out. We rent them out for premieres.
Oh,
That's dope.
But Okay.
But I was starting my own movie theater for independent.
Okay.
Oh, man, another movie.
Artists.
Right.
But I've been in the process of doing that and trying to find a building for 2 years.
Right.
But then I don't let that stop me. So what I've done was that one of the premieres we had, we filmed in Marty's here in Dallas. Marty's is Marty's Live is a club for the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was, since they let me film there, they also said I can show a movie there.
Wow.
So they let me have a night to where I came in and I had my own projector, my own screen, my own speakers, and they let me set up there. So I've done that in places where I just set up my own equipment and then show my movie.
Wow.
You know,
So
yeah.
So when the podcast comes to Texas, you'll listen to a couple of these movies. You know, we want to start a couple.
Yeah, we need a couple roles.
Okay, yeah, y'all here. Now, a buddy of mine named Little Rick out of Oklahoma, I bought a Cadillac from him a couple of years ago for my movie Cousin.
Okay,
And
yeah,
when
I
I
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to purchase that Cadillac from him, and it was a little 85 Slantback Seville.
Oh, my goodness.
And I purchased that for the movie, and that came out of my own pocket because
Wow.
if you don't support yourself, you don't expect nobody else to support you.
That's
So
right.
Definitely.
I found out Little Rick was a rapper, and he said, "Hey man, I can act, man. I want to be in the movie too." So I told him, "I got a part for you." Little Rick came all the way to Dallas and did his part and went all the way back home. So yeah, man, I'm all for it. You know,
Man.
Most definitely.
I'm for it, man. I got so many places and movies. So I got about 4 movies I'm actually sitting on now that I have to get started on.
Do
You know,
plan
so-
on branching out to see if you can get like a deal with Amazon or Netflix, have an original one of your movies on.
Yeah, I'm starting. You got me. You done dropped. Oh, now you got me saying all my business.
Oh no, no, that was Aisha. That wasn't Tita.
This is Aisha.
My bad, Aisha. So I have a series that I'm starting that I want to present to Netflix, and it's
Okay.
gonna be real good.
That's
but
dope.
It's gonna be, y'all gonna be like, dang it, why did he choose that one? But but so I am looking into doing, some things, because Netflix is the way to go now because they're trying to get everybody at home watching TV, Hulu
Right.
and all these places, all these platforms.
Mhm.
And I noticed that a lot of actors, like Ludacris and them, did that movie John Henry. I wouldn't recommend it. That was like some like what in the hell?
That was terrible.
I was like,
Yeah.
with the budget, they had, give me that budget, and I'll show y'all some quality movies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like my movies, like y'all can see my movies on Facebook too. I have all my movies on Facebook, all the old ones.
Yeah.
I don't have anything that I'm working on now because I don't just put them out there like that. But you can watch my movies and be like, dang, the quality of that with no budget was better than John Henry with a budget. Like,
Right.
but see, Netflix trying to spit out their movies like that so everybody can go to Netflix. So, I will try to put something on Netflix. And I do have 2 short films on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And this movie I got coming out, Losing Hope, I'm trying to still see how I'm going to stream that one, but I will put that one on Amazon Prime, too.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch things around. I know a lot been going on in the world, and I know Texas is going heavy out there in Dallas. I seen you live a couple of days ago, and you were speaking on human rights versus civil rights.
Yeah.
This tell us what you were talking about on that live, and how you feel about the situation with how you pronounce his name, Mr. Floyd.
Well, I think the situation with Mr. Floyd, first off, is what's been going on for the last 100 years in this country. And, because we're still fighting the same injustice that was fought, by our ancestors, And, but when I was talking about human rights versus civil rights, is because I see a lot of people who talk about Martin Luther King and compare it to Malcolm X. And when we talk about Martin Luther King, we always put that with Christianity. So then we put Christianity with nonviolence. So, and then we talk about Malcolm X, we think about violence and we think about Islam. And I think that's a lot of people's misconception because Martin Luther King spoke and said that the reason he don't want us to fight back it's because we were outnumbered and outgunned. He said it makes no sense for us to fight back, and we know we're going to lose this battle because we don't have the guns that the white folks have, and then we don't have the people that they have. Malcolm X was for nonviolence, but Malcolm X was a human rights activist, not just a civil rights activist.
Right.
You know? So while Martin Luther King was fighting for everybody to be equal and us to be treated equally with white folks, Malcolm X saying, hey, I'm all for equal and civil rights. Right. Even though we're not a part of this country, that's why we still fight for civil rights. But he felt that if you hit me, I'm going to hit you back.
Right.
Martin Luther King led people that was getting bit by dogs, beat by police, and they were steady screaming, don't fight back.
Yeah.
And Malcolm X said, forget that. If your dog bite me, he said, do whatever you got to do to make sure that dog don't bite nobody else.
Right.
You know? And so it's a human right. We have a human right to defend ourselves, you know, and when we constantly getting beat and killed and we refuse to kill ourselves, not kill ourselves, to defend ourselves, that's what bullies do. Bullies keep attacking those who refuse to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, I brought that in to play because I'm trying to tell our people, I got an organization I'm putting together called BAM, which is By Any Means Necessary. And it's all about self-defense. It's all about gun safety and first aid, CPR, finding out how to protect yourself and how to protect your family.
Right.
Because I'm not letting anybody come in because of my Christian beliefs and do something to my family because I'm going to sit there and say, God don't want us to fight back. That's a lie from hell. So, you know, that's what that brought about. Is because during this time, I'm trying to tell people, get ready, man, because something is coming down the pipe. When coronavirus came, I don't know how it was up there with y'all. And I don't know how it was with y'all. But
it got up a little bit over here.
But I'm saying all the guns were sold out. All the ammunition. I still can't get 40 caliber bullets, you know? And because while we were playing at the house, white folks was buying the guns, so they getting ready for a war. They getting ready for a riot. They getting ready to start something. And we still sitting around here on TikTok dancing. Showing everybody what we did with our stimulus check. Yeah. I saw one lady, I don't know if y'all saw that video. She in the car showing off her money with the door and window down. And the dude snatched her money and took off.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That one.
I saw that.
I laughed my ass off at that one. That's what she get.
That was funny.
I probably would have did the same thing.
Yeah.
I would have got too. I would have looted her behind. Look. Like, why are you on live showing your money? I'm like, what's this that mean?
Right.
And so, and I'm saying, but while we're doing that, and we're buying, Walmart intentionally set out a whole thing. They had a 70-inch TV for like $500. They know what they're doing to us. They put out this bait for us, and we keep taking the bait. So we done spent $500 on a TV, and they had 9mm Rugers for $250.
That's crazy.
So the white folks buying the guns, and we buying another TV. You just got a TV in January, February. Why are you buying another one?
Yeah, but you're right though. If we're going to be telling people to arm themselves, you definitely want to have the training to go behind that for people to know how to defend themselves and how to keep themselves safe with the weapons and everything. And that teaching is definitely needed because people have these guns and weapons and they don't know how to control themselves or the gun when they have them. Yeah. So there's definitely education that needs to be had. And it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had. Some people need to defend themselves, and I don't think that we have a problem with defending ourselves. I think it's more of a situation where people that you think you're supposed to trust, and these are the people that's killing you. So it's kind of hard, a situation, when you're a police officer. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, you with the jogger situation, if he was armed, he would probably, maybe he would be here still, maybe. Or
Yeah.
or maybe he would have shot one of them, and then
He probably be locked
could
up
be
right
in
now.
like he'd be locked up.
Yeah.
And then they talking about he did something.
Yep.
So it's you know it's a double-edged sword, man, that goes both ways when it comes to guns.
It is.
So we definitely just have to be educated, like you said, on what's going on, and make sure that we are keeping our family safe, and that's important. That's what's the most important.
Yes, sir. So tell
I agree.
all the people your social media, how they can get contact with you, how actors can get some of your movies, all that. Tell them all your social media.
With my, I'm Lamont Hawley on Facebook. I'm Lamont Hawley on Instagram. Man, what else I had? I'm Lamont Hawley on TikTok. But if they want to get in contact with me, they can always hit me up on Facebook. If I'm looking for actors, I'm always posting it on Facebook, posting it on Instagram. And it's Lamont Hawley. And if y'all want to see my movies, I put them on my page, but just look on my page. I have all my movies there. Or you can go to, I got so many pages. I got the Actors Reel.
Right.
You can find my movie, all my movies on the Actors Reel on Facebook too.
Okay.
And you can watch them on Facebook.
Most definitely. We got a game for you. You ready?
You say you got to what?
We got a game
You said
for
you
you.
got a what?
Real quick, I'm gonna ask you one quick question before we go into the game.
No.
What's your top 3 directors, with independent directors that you
Man,
look to right now?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know any. I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful. I've never been influenced like that, and I don't have anybody that I looked up to that kind of motivated me to do it. I really don't. I don't even know any names of any directors. I know they got Tyler Perry out there producing movies, but other than that, I don't know. I don't know too many.
Well,
I don't know people's names.
you should look up with Ira Daniels. Look him up. He makes great movies. He's from Phoenix. Look him up. Maybe you guys can get together and work some things together. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I said Phoenix pushing them out like that.
Oh yeah. Definitely go check out his film. I think he had what was the name of his film he had on
The System.
The System.
That was playing in theaters.
It's on Amazon, and it was in theaters locally. So
Okay.
definitely go and check him out. Maybe see what and we can also get you in contact with him if you ever wanted to.
Yeah, I would love, man, to meet. I've been trying to network with people, but I'm telling you, sometimes our people can be a little funny, and everybody's trying to get ahead and don't want to work together. But
Right.
yeah, man, I love it.
Right,
Definitely.
I would love it.
that's not how we do things over here.
No,
but
yeah.
man.
Get
We
you some
trying.
good people.
I'm going to Arizona. I'm going to
Right. All right. I'm gonna ask you again. Are you ready for this game?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I don't know what it is.
All right, man. All right. Aisha's gonna tell you how it works.
All right.
Big thing.
So
Oh,
we're doing movie trivia today.
oh
That's
my
our game.
God. I just said I don't know no names, but come on, let's do it.
All right. I got 5 questions for you. If you get 3 out of 5 correct, we'll donate $50 to your charity of choice. You
I'm
have
the charity. My daughter named Charity. Now I'm just saying.
You got 3 lifelines you can use. First lifeline you can use is you can Google the question, in which case we'll give you 45 seconds to answer the question. You can skip a question, or you may call or text someone as your lifeline.
I don't need no lifeline. Let's do it.
You
Okay.
have 30 seconds for each question.
And the time starts when the question has been read.
Read slow, because I'm trying to figure this out.
He's funny.
All right. Question 1. What actor played Alex Hitchens in Hitch?
What's his name? Shoot. Was that Will Smith?
There
Will
you
Smith
go.
is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a white guy. Okay, go ahead.
There you go.
Question 2. Who portrayed Bruce Wayne in the movie Batman Begins?
Bruce Wayne. Is that the guy that's dead? Is that the dead guy? Hold on.
No.
Bruce Wayne.
No.
And which movie?
Batman Begins.
Dang it. God, shoot, I need to take that 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
You still have
shoot.
lifelines. You got
I'll give you a hint. I'm Batman. That's your hint.
10 seconds.
Pass.
okay.
Bad. Oh, that was nice pass.
Good pass.
Good pass.
What was the answer? What was the answer though?
What was the answer?
Answer: Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Oh, man. Okay.
The deepest voice Batman ever.
Yeah. He had
Okay.
he had asthma, I guess.
Question 3. In what decade is
What?
the Great Debaters set? Is it A, 1930s, B, 1940s, C, 1960s, or D, 1950s?
The Great
The 60s.
Debaters. He said
The 60s.
The 60s.
The 50s, the 40s, the 30s. How many guesses do I get?
You got that wrong, sir.
I think it was the 30s.
They stayed in the 30s.
Nah, that's what Denzel.
It's the movie with Denzel,
Yeah,
and it was set in the 1930s.
The 1930s, you know?
Yeah.
I know the 30s.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I feel like a loser at this game. Come on.
Question
No.
4.
I think he's doing good compared to others.
Question 4. In the movie A Few Good Men, where is the Marine base where the incident occurred?
The military base?
Yes. Where is it located when the incident occurred?
It happened
Okay,
in the 90s.
Yeah, I remember the movie, but was that in Phoenix, Arizona?
10 seconds.
Phoenix.
Oh,
correct.
You can't handle the truth.
No, you got that wrong.
Where was that at?
That
Where
would
was
be
it at?
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
How the world am I supposed to know that? Shoot.
Come
All right.
on now.
I know, I'm losing at this one. This don't
Question
feel right.
5.
This the last question?
Yeah,
Yes,
last question.
That's messed up.
Question 5. In A Good Day to Die Hard, what Frank Sinatra song was sung by the Russian taxi cab driver?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, look. Footloose.
They're in New York.
It's
It's a Frank Sinatra song, and they're in New York in this movie. So that's pretty good hints right there.
That ain't no hit, because I don't know his song.
You don't know?
New York.
Disrespected old Blue Eyes, huh?
Oh man, come
Oh
on.
man.
Oh, man. Oh,
That would be New York, New York.
New York, New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Golly.
I want to be a part of it.
I know the song. You know, at first, man, I was all excited to talk to y'all, but now
He's like, I don't like you guys no more.
Well,
I guess we get to keep our $50 today.
right. You definitely lost.
yeah, 'cause
That's not good right there. What's going on?
rename one of my kids charity. Get that
Hey, well, thanks for trying though, and
no problem.
maybe next time. It was great. It was good having you on though, man. It was great talking to you and learning about your movies and everything. And we want everyone to go out and check out your movies. I have your IMBD page pulled up, man. I'm gonna let everyone know about you, man, and get the word out for what you're trying to do.
Hey man, I appreciate it. And if y'all have any connections with other producers and directors, man, I love to meet some people and learn some different ways of doing things and everything.
Definitely. We'll definitely do that. We'll reach out and see if we can get that done for you, man. That's what we do over here.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna keep on sharing y'all show, man. I love it, man. I'm a newcomer to it, but man, I appreciate y'all, man.
Oh, it's nothing, man. That's what we do, man. And make sure you tell everyone about us, and we'll definitely get the word out about you and what you're doing out there. It's very important that people see what you're doing.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Hawley. Definitely have a good rest of your day, sir.
Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah, that was dope, man.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later.
Yes,
See ya.
Great interview. The man's about his business.
Definitely, man. Director, producer.
Yeah.
All around great person. He was a preacher.
Yeah, preacher.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And was able to switch up. You never know, man. Life switches up, man. You
Definitely.
It may not be the same path that you start taking that you end up with. I was watching this movie the other day, documentary.
Okay.
About this lady. She was an archaeologist and finding things in Egypt.
Egypt?
Yeah, that's something I've been watching a lot of lately. But anyway, she was a lawyer at first. She became a successful lawyer.
Oh, you talking about the lady that was from
She was from the Dominican.
From the Dominican, yeah.
Yeah, she was very, very, very intelligent lady. But she did it because her parents wanted her to, and she became a lawyer, but she wasn't happy. So she decided that she was going to go after archaeology and do the things that she dreamed about as a kid, digging in Egypt and finding.
And combine the two. She combined them. She combined her knowledge of law.
Well, it helps in situations when you're digging, because the people you have to work with and the things you have to know and trying to figure out things, where they're located, and being able to research old books and old texts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
So definitely. So that was pretty dope. Yeah.
Traveling and everything too.
Yeah, man, traveling the world and living on the Nile. You know what I'm saying? Digging up
kind of like
old
like
artifacts.
Indiana Jones, but with the law knowledge.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's definitely shout out our sponsors real quick.
Sprout out to the sponsors.
www.waywardkid.com, your site for all your entertainment, news, sports, and lifestyle trends. They also got the Wayward Kid Foundation for all your editing programs. Go check out their website, like their Facebook page.
Check them out.
Definitely.
And we also have Kiwi Juice Bar with all natural smoothies, sports nutrition supplements, fresh pressed juice, gourmet coffee and tea, protein bars, healthy snacks, and nutritional education. And we also can't forget their vegan menu with their burgers, chicken, and the cookies.
Definitely.
Yes. Let's not forget our top donator, Ms. Joanne Mohammed. She was very, very happy being on our show.
Yes.
Yes, she was.
And like the Facebook page, DanYo&Tita Podcast. Subscribe to the DanYo&Tita YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You got the IG page, DanYo&Tita Podcast, and also the Spotify page, DanYo&Tita Podcast.
Definitely.
And make sure to go to www.timcformayor.com and register if you haven't, and help to make your voice get heard, and vote.
Definitely. Yeah, man, go out there and vote, because we need the change.
You see the change, how that, like I said the other day, having Keith Ellison, how important that is to have him there in Minnesota, to make sure that those gentlemen or those police officers, I want to call them gentlemen, are arrested and face justice. I mean, we still have steps to go. Still have to face a jury, which is the scariest part. Yeah. But still having someone like that fighting for Mr. Floyd is definitely this.
Aisha, do you want to show off our shirts?
Yeah. Oh yeah, our new sponsor. Stop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I can't put it back in the bag, but Aisha pulled it all.
We shine, detailing.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
There you go. Get your shirts, you guys.
Yeah, man.
I am the bag swag. There's an all color.
It's fire. Look at that right there, y'all.
We shine.
All different colors.
Yeah, man. Them boys doing it, man.
One for the gram.
Man, so we shine detailing.
Yeah,
go to their Facebook page, book an appointment. Rockadamas also his music. Go on Spotify.
Yeah, man. Check him out, man.
Everything's dope, and order your shirt, man.
Yeah, and they make your car shine.
Man.
Shine.
And they make them smell good.
Shine.
They make it
Shine.
smell good. They
I mean,
make
the
them shine.
cars. I've seen cars that look like, man, you know,
Yeah.
the junk, straight junk. They don't clean the car. They get McDonald's
No,
all
they
in the
go-
back of the car.
No.
You know what I mean? And they make it look
They
good.
go
man.
into all the crevices.
Yeah, man.
They make it look brand new.
Some of those
real.
cars look like they haven't been cleaned or washed.
Yeah,
and
man.
Detailed in over
Man,
15,
horrible.
20 years.
Yeah,
Horrible.
I love it when he does the before and after.
Right, right. That's what I be
Definitely.
talking about.
There
you know
was-
what I'm
there
saying?
was one
Before
video
it's
he
roaches,
did.
rats, and after clean.
There was a video he did that it was like a mirror effect, but it was actually the actual car. Like it was so clean, it looked like a damn mirror.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
amazing.
man, dude, they are amazing, and we love them over here. That's all that matters. You know
So
what I'm
don't
talking
forget to support him and his wife.
Definitely,
They have a great business.
definitely got a great
about.
business.
No, they're dope, man,
Yep.
and they've been huge part of the show ever since we started,
Yeah.
and making sure they support.
Yeah. I'll get some word on the street news. What I just wanted to do this week was, you know, what's going on with Mr. Floyd. I want to put out some black businesses, just to shout them out that here in Phoenix, Arizona, that you can support. Also, me and Tita was we actually ordered some food on Uber Eats the other day,
Oh yeah,
and they have a black business section, you know, Uber Eats, yo.
yeah.
Wow, that's
So
that's,
you know,
that's new because they didn't have that before.
they never had that before.
They had like the support your local, but now they have the
Own black
support
business.
black owned.
Yeah.
Man, you know, a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's needed, man.
Yeah, so it's pretty dope right there.
Yeah, it's dope.
So let's name some of the Phoenix black businesses. Yeah, Stacy's Off the Hook.
Great food.
We've been there before. Got
Definitely,
some hot
man.
links
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
man. We had some smothered chicken over there, man.
Was that Ezekiel's Restaurant? See Magnolia Smokehouse. The Ladders and Data. Honey Barbecue. Don't
We-
stop
we-
playing.
We can't go there for a while, but
We haven't been there for a while, but you know, you remember back in the day.
I remember.
Man.
Some of that bone, girl.
I walked a mile just to get some
Your
ribs.
Tita
You
was
talking,
in
that's
there.
you talking about honey bears?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
the
just
shit,
get
man.
one.
I like it.
rib.
Yeah,
I like the chicken. I like the barbecue chicken sandwiches, man. That's
Yeah,
what
I got it,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. That's what I get when I go there.
We have Blue Seas Express and Catering. One of my favorites, Papa Joe's Fish and Q.
Yeah, man.
Come on now, stop playing,
Man.
Yeah.
I'm asleep.
Yeah, man. Me too.
Also another one of our favorites. Lolo's,
Y'all know them all.
Lolo's Chicken and Waffles.
Oh yeah.
We support black
I know.
business over
I
here.
know Lolo's definitely.
I think we went
Haven't
to
been
all of
there
them.
yet.
The legendary Mrs. White's Golden Rule Cafe.
Yes.
Come on,
Okay.
now,
Yeah,
legendary,
definitely.
legendary.
I've been there.
Legendary.
That's definitely legendary.
Food's great.
Great food.
Quality.
We have the one that's right around the corner from DanYo&Tita podcast. Ooh, excuse me, I'm thinking about it right now.
I think I said I wanted it for
I
lunch.
think that
Yes.
he has
My
something
mouth
right
watered.
here.
Right.
Cool Vibes Jamaican Restaurant. Come on.
Yeah.
Give it up for
Yeah.
them.
Definitely.
We gonna grab some of that.
Yeah,
on the
we had
way
that
home.
curry.
Some of that jerk
curry.
chicken.
Yeah.
That
This
rice.
is one of Dip and Aisha's favorite, and they also y'all brag about it all the time. And I'm like, how come I haven't been here yet? Valley Wings.
Valley Wings.
Valley
Wings. We still sleep on that.
Man, you gotta go, man. That Valley
And
Wing
we
sauce is
actually
bomb,
just
man.
went to one recently. You
And
guys
this one is
remember
right.
that?
This one is right down the street from y'all. This
Yeah,
is
man.
on
That's what
Greenway.
Oh, we
Yeah,
gonna,
man.
when this vegan is over with, we got Mingo's Louisiana Kitchen.
Oh, they love me.
yes,
though.
yes,
Yes,
The po' boy sandwiches. The catfish sandwiches, man. Oh my goodness. Hey man,
Every time that truck showed up at the job,
I was there. They seen me in
bring
line
it home.
fast, man. They knew I was on it.
I just like get out of the way.
Right. We have what's that one? Solo's Cafe, Island Sensation Cuisine. Come on, Trap House Barbecue.
Yeah,
Man, I haven't hit him up yet, man. We was talking about it,
Yep,
man. We
we
gotta
talked
hit
about
him
it
up,
last
man.
night.
I've heard
We
nothing but
haven't
great things about
Just
it.
skimming through some things. Oh, we went here last weekend, y'all. Monroe's Hot Chicken. Stop playing.
Goodness.
man.
Dog, I'll probably fuck you up for one of those sandwiches, man.
That's a 2 pays right there,
Man, dog.
I can eat like 5 of them joints and I'll give you my paycheck.
Man.
Just, gosh.
We
They got-
went in there and it was basically elbow to elbow.
Right.
And it's the coronavirus.
It's like
Nobody
if there
cares.
was no virus in there.
Nobody
right?
cares.
You were
Man.
sitting down and everything.
Man.
That
That
sandwich was ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, it
amazing.
took it wild too, man.
Oh,
yeah,
they cook-
they cook it fresh.
They're giving you a whole damn chicken breast on there.
Man.
Oh, it's fire. I don't even like coleslaw. Tita don't like
I don't
coleslaw
like
either.
coleslaw.
But
That
was-
Nashville,
was
it's that
amazing.
Nashville chicken, that hot chicken, Nashville's,
And they
man.
got that Tita's favorite, that cornbread macaroni and cheese.
Oh God!
Man,
Macaroni and cheese with a little bit of cornbread on top.
Yep.
man.
They also
Fire.
have the Caribbean Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Smokehouse,
JJ Smokehouse. Yep.
the Breadfruit and Rum Bar,
Damn, I'm sleeping
and a
on it.
popular establishment out here as well is
Oh yeah. We've been there too.
ATL Wings.
ATL.
ATL.
Go there probably every Saturday after we leave here. They probably sick of seeing
This
us.
is
Man.
an Asia spot.
They see our phone number come across the board and
They
be
know
like,
what
"Ah,
it is.
So we already know your order's
already know.
already in.
You
Yep.
already know the deli.
you paying now or when you get here? That's the question.
Exactly. But also, so I wanted to definitely mention that we have those places
That we've gone and we
yeah,
ate.
support black businesses.
Yeah, man.
In the Phoenix, Arizona area.
We support, and that's the thing that we put our money where our mouths is. You know what I
Yes.
mean? We
Yeah.
support, man.
Definitely.
No one can say that because here at on our podcast,
y'all know we like
support
to
the
eat.
city.
Yeah.
All companies, all businesses,
But
and especially black owned.
exactly back on. So we do support our own over here.
Yeah, man.
But what I
support
wanted
the
to
city,
do
period.
is also, there's been a lot of protesting out here
Mm-hmm.
in Phoenix. We've been hitting the lines. We were going to go out Friday. We didn't get to because a situation happened that we didn't get to go out there. But
Mm-hmm.
one person that's been in the front lines, I'm talking about daily, is Mr. Roqy Tyraid.
Yeah, man.
He's out there all the time.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know he's getting any sleep because he's
Right.
just,
He
but,
stays in the street.
He's like driven though. It's like it's
no, 'cause
addicting to
it's-
go
it's-
with him. You know.
He's making sure the word gets out there and fighting for us. So we're gonna see if we can get in contact with Mr. Roqy Tyraid real quick. I know hopefully he's up early.
Let's wake him up.
Yeah, let's wake him up.
No, he was out all night protesting,
Yeah,
breaking
That's why
curfew.
he was like, he told me, he said, what time?
Might throw a trivia question out there. I got one still in the book.
Okay.
I should got them shotguns.
What's going on?
You're live on DanYo&Tita podcast.
What's up, Mr.
Yo.
Tyraid?
Mr. Roqy Tyraid, how you doing, sir?
Good. I'm good. Yeah, we jump right into it. I like it.
I thought I was gonna hit
Normally
you
it's
up.
like, all right, we're going to get ready to talk. Make sure you don't say anything that could be incriminating. That's fine. You're like, all right, you know, here's to take your shit.
Hey, we keep it real. We want that realness. We just jump right in.
Right.
We just did an interview with them. We want to
I
make sure
could
we
have been eating cereal. Y'all don't give a damn.
No, we don't care, man.
Hey, you've been on the show before. You know what it is.
Yeah. I wish I was there in person. How y'all doing?
Oh, doing good, man. I just us at DanYo&Tita podcast, we want to personally thank you for what you've been doing on the front lines, man. We see you and we want to acknowledge you.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I appreciate it. There's a lot of us out there, man. But to be a part of the machine is an honor, bro.
Definitely.
Representing something bigger than the music scene and all that.
Exactly.
Shit.
It's
really
bigger
about,
than that right now.
It's about everybody in Maricopa County and how and just America in general.
Exactly.
We have a lot of work to do, dude, and people are finally starting to listen. So
Yeah, man.
we just have to keep at it.
Yeah, we definitely was pushing out the original flyer that was supposed to be pushed out. And, I personally apologize to you yesterday because we were supposed to go.
Yeah.
Due to circumstances, we didn't get to make it. But I wanted
Oh man, hey, we're black in America. Just having your skin tone is a protest every day, bro. So don't feel compelled to
Real
be out
shit,
there.
man. Real shit.
True. But I want to hit you up, probably like 5-10 minutes and just tell us about your experience being down in the front lines.
Oh man, it's incredible. It's we've been at it for like almost about a week and a half now. Ever since everything started kicking off. I originally went out there because just having a lot of experience on the ground, just seeing how things can get pretty hectic when cops start utilizing specific tactics. We don't need to go into all that, but mainly tear gas. I will say that the first time I was ever hit with tear gas,
Wow.
I legitimately thought I was going to die.
Wow.
And some of these youth who are not accustomed to that, and some of those brave individuals who are willing to take those risks and have yet to meet that life-changing event, they could use some guidance. So it went from that to slowly finding myself, kind of looking after a lot of the youth who were there just in general. And then, I found myself being a part of the crowd, and then it just kind of evolved from there, and then just meeting different people along the way, and just putting different things together. So it's been amazing, just different walks of life and races and creeds and orientations, and it's religions. It's been crazy seeing everybody out there,
Right.
and you notice the evolution in the general mind thought process, like from like the first stage, things like, okay, well, Black Lives Matter, because it sounds trendy to say. Then all of a sudden we're talking about like cops killing people, like killing Black people, and then it evolves to an understanding of starting to understand like systemic racism. Or police brutality. Then like the next stage, like starting to understand systemic racism. So we're like cracking at it every day. Like we're not out here just screaming a bunch of mantras in the air. Like there's real educative action and process. Right. This is some real shit.
Right.
And none of us really expected this to take place. It just kind of happened, man. Like some of the biggest changes in nations' histories have all been in the span of like a week or two, or
the whole
a
world,
few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a question, homie. You being a leader of a movement now, I mean, because I'm going to call you that because you put together most of the movements of people getting together in downtown is which makes you a leader here now. So to me, when you see the different people that's coming out, you see the media and the companies saying Black Lives Matter and blacking out their websites. Do you think that any of these things is going to make it a little different than, or make it feel any different than any of the last 10 times that we've protested and did things? Do you think the eyes are opening more this time, or do you think they're just buying into it to just kind of give a pat on the back and still go back to their normal lives? Or do you think that this time, with the interest of corporate America and all the people trying to change, do you think it's going to really make and implement real change this time?
It just takes always holding them accountable, and just the old saying, like like your parents said, like out of sight, out of mind. Like if it's not there, if you're not there to actually witness and help steer it in the right direction, then of course things are going to fall off. Like in terms of like the protests and all this type of stuff, it's just performative action. If there's no real tangible change after that, it's all moot. Yeah. So that's why even in the type of chants that are being disseminated throughout the crowd, it's like the powers and the polls, and understanding like even when we take breaks and like teach them about searching propositions and understanding the narratives that are created around those propositions in order to throw people off, like using net neutrality for an example. When if you vote yes on net neutrality, you're actually voting yes on allowing the FCC to do whatever the fuck they want with the internet. Right. So really understanding how to apply yourself politically is the main reason, because eventually, be it a week, a couple weeks, or a few days, it's going to die down. It always happens. And then what happens after that? Like these companies step back, these certain DSPs remove their Black Lives Matter themed playlist, and we just go back to being the same fucked up country that we were a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Right now, because it's really, there's no change. Yeah. Right. Until it's changed, we're in the same position. So it's cool that people have these, it's the companies they're not being, it's not genuine. Yeah. It's cool that the companies have these disingenuous, let's black out everything, let's hold a moment of silence on TV for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. It's cool that they're doing that, but show me your boardrooms. Right. Like show me some real diversity. Yeah. Right. So until we have all of those changes, there won't be any change. There won't be any real. This will all just be a performative action, a performative movement. And we're so much bigger than that. And the conversations that we're having on the side with a lot of these Phoenicians, the questions that they're asking, where can, like, where do they donate? By the way, right now, I personally advocate for putting it towards the National Bailout Fund, because there's a lot of people on the front line representing our cause who don't have the luxury of legal representation and things of that nature, and don't have the financial backing to recover from those scenarios, which is why on the protest, we're advocating for them to leave at 7:45, to make sure that they're able to show up, to make sure they're able to still hold down the job. Because, the overlying, the body that oversees all of this oppression that we're pushing against, they know that they control all the powerful chess pieces, which includes, economic backing. So all they have to do is just push a little bit. These companies are firing left and right, and they know that it's a very slim chance that you'll be able to fall into another line of employment after taking this risk. So,
I have a question with you, boss man.
Go ahead.
I know you've been on the front lines. How have you been dealing with the people that's out there? Clout chasers that are there to take pictures for the gram and trying to get the likes and their followers up. How have you ran into those type of people?
Oh, absolutely, man. It's no different than rap. It's actually way worse than rap. I really, as soon as we get through this, I am so back to music, bro. Like, this is clout chasing and all that is abundant, because, not a lot of people are going to question philanthropic action.
Yeah.
They're not going to question whether or not your actions are altruistic. So it's easier to get away with looking like you're there for the people. But you can't really pay too much attention to it, because you can't create a fractured or contribute to a fractured community by pointing out other situations, movements, or areas where they may have fucked up, or things that you don't necessarily align with, because we share a common goal. Even if somebody wants themselves to be the face, we do want to get rid of police brutality. We do want to end systemic prejudice. So we are here for those reasons. So after all this is said and done, we may call you out.
Oh yeah.
But right now, we're here for some real shit. Go ahead.
We need those people called out after all is said and done. What I like what's going on right now is definitely that we had the protests and the movement is this has not been a here today gone tomorrow movement right now.
No, this not going.
Not at all, man.
That's what I love about it right now.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
It's beautiful.
So we just have to make sure that we control the narrative. There's a lot of things that are taking place that there's just certain things that are being used to act as a wrench in the system. Like the appearance of certain political figures and movements and stuff like that. And we can't let that distract us from the common goal, which is genuinely pushing to end police brutality, to really define what the fuck excessive force means, to remove things like tear gas and rubber bullets and being tased for no goddamn reason, being beaten up after you're already cuffed. Like, we need to really talk about how mental health awareness is not practiced in some of these institutions. Like, if I feel compelled to go and speak with a psychiatrist and I don't do anything that could take someone's life, someone who has the power to drastically affect your life should be held up to higher standards.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason why someone should take longer to become a beautician than a certified, like a beautician than to become a police officer.
Right.
Oh, I saw that.
Like, there's so many things that we need to talk about.
Yeah, man.
And I can say, as being one of those people who are on these front lines, as you guys say, that these are the conversations that we are having with the people in, that attend these demonstrations.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you all for taking our
we
time
appreciate
to speaking
you,
to us and everything.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course. But thank y'all for having me, man, and for using y'all platform to, continue talking about what affects our community and beyond, man,
Yes,
because, this isn't the last time, but hopefully it'll be one of the last times for this specific subject matter.
Yes, sir. Might do a Roqy Tyraid segment on here.
I tell you.
Before let's have a little fun. Before you leave, let's do a trivia question before you leave.
Oh, shit, here we go.
All right. Your question is, in which 2000 movie did Bill Murray play the character John Bosley?
What? I'm not gonna look at my I'm not gonna look at my phone either. I promise.
Okay.
So 2000, the actual 2000.
Actual 2000.
That Bill Murray played a character named John Bosley.
John Bosley.
So he wasn't really active like that around 2000. He did take a break, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
The movie is a remake from the 70s.
I think you know this one too.
Yeah,
Roqy
know this
that
one.
wasn't 2000, bro. That was like 2001, but that's Charlie's Angels.
Yep, that's it.
There you go.
I thought that was 2001.
I was like, I think you know this
2000
one.
came out, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
2000.
no, hold on. Now I'm going on my phone. Hold on. I'm about to verify it.
You
I think
verify
that was
it?
2001. Hold on. Nope, we're not going anywhere. Hold up. Charlie's Angels.
Remember, there were three of them.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah?
you're right. It was 2000.
You know what? This if you know this.
He's like, wait, you're right.
I apologize for the record.
What's the foundation you've been donating, boss man?
The National Bailout Fund has recently caught my attention, but there's so many out there, so it really depends on what is furthest up on your list. Me being on the front lines and seeing some of these people take crazy risks, that's why I personally feel compelled to direct people towards right now.
Right.
But I mean, even there's other actions, bro. Like you can just take a bottle of water, or a case of water, drive down to an area where there's like disenfranchised people, like off like 19th, anywhere down 19th past the 10 freeway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And just hand them out because it's hot as shit out there.
Yeah.
You know? Just small stuff like that. You can do that on your ride home.
Do you have any more upcoming protests that you're planning, or was yesterday's your last one that you were planning yourself?
So normally we start from City Hall at 5:00.
Okay.
Every day at 5:00.
Every day.
And every day at 5:00 for now.
Okay.
So it's just a good meeting point, and we're just using this opportunity to just educate people as much as possible.
Okay.
And then, before moving to the next plan of action, just understand a lot of these activists are just citizens, just like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't come from, don't have a long lineage in being out there in organizations.
Right.
So they're humans too. And sometimes people are prone to mistakes, but I feel like we all know what I'm alluding to here, but just know that everything is on the level.
Yeah.
And that there are real conversations being had. So, just from being there and seeing it firsthand, I can assure you that everything is on the level with that.
Well, I know you as a man, and I respect you as a person. So I know that you are being a great leader and making sure that everyone is going in the right direction, and making sure that your leadership is being focal point of what's going on out there, because I know what type of person you are. And so I want to pay my respects to what you're doing, man, and thank you for being a leader out there and doing your thing, man. That's much respect.
Thank you, man. Hey, man, the respect is mutual, King. Like, thank you so much. So we're going to continue pushing this. We're all part of this. Like, whether or not we're on the front lines or we're putting that narrative out there, like all hands on deck, and every hand on deck helps the shit.
Yes,
so
sir.
we're good.
Appreciate you, boss man.
For sure.
Thank
All right,
you.
Tyraid.
All right, man.
Take care.
Yes, sir.
Y'all be safe.
Stay
You
safe.
too.
Yeah, one love.
Love.
Peace.
It's awesome.
We had a couple people calling in.
Oh yeah.
But we were talking to Roqy. We're gonna give y'all a call back.
Who we calling?
I think that was we have it was Mike Terrell was on hold, I think, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was on hold. So
Is that who that is?
yeah, so we're gonna give him a call back if he picks up.
the pay your legend himself, huh?
Hello?
You're live on DanYo&Tita podcast.
Oh, what's happening, y'all?
What's going on?
going down,
You was
man?
calling, man.
Chilling, man. Y'all looking good in the pay your legend hat.
Is that what you called for? You call? We got the Pay Your Legends hat song. Can we get the horn, man?
Yeah, man, gotta pay respects, man. They doing good big things out here, so we definitely gotta pay respects to the movement, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Them is exclusive. Them is exclusive right there. I don't know if I'm gonna make that cutaway again.
Oh man, it's gonna cost $50,000 sooner or later, man.
Right? They went like hotcakes. I heard.
Yeah. We on we live right now with Mike Terrell from the Mike Terrell podcast and the Hatrix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the hashtag Pay Your Legends.
Pay your legends, man. Y'all having a great show up there. A lot of great knowledge being
definitely
spewed up there right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how's the show been going, man?
All's been going good, man. The curfew, we couldn't do an episode this week because of the curfew. I don't want to be black out there and get caught.
Right.
But we about to be record today. Then I've been doing my little hatred stuff, just stuff that be on my heart that I want to pour out to
Keeping
the
us
street.
entertained. Keeping
Facts.
us entertained.
Yeah, man. I wanted to, I've been having like kind of mixed feelings on the protests because, like I said last night on my show, I watched this story on Netflix about this kid in New York from Africa, Amado Diallo. I believe that's his name. I don't know, mess the brother's name up. But this man was shot 41 times in 1999.
What?
41 times 1999. Unarmed. Didn't do nothing. He was just reach for his keys. Police shot the nigga 41 times.
That's crazy.
And they was doing all this protesting. Like Al Sharpton had to protest. Leg cracking. I mean, there was huge protests.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Right.
So to me, I think they want us to be peaceful. I'm not saying that I want people to loot and do stuff like that.
Right.
But they would rather us be peaceful because it causes no change.
Mm-hmm.
All it does is give them overtime money.
I understand that. Definitely.
Yeah.
You got to understand, last week when the freedom fighters was whooping the police ass, and then when we went to Scottsdale, and when the white people looted Scottsdale, immediately the next day there was a curfew.
Yeah.
Immediately.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. You speaking truth.
On Thursday and Friday when they was looting downtown or vandalizing downtown, there was nothing. Nobody cared.
No.
Yeah.
As soon as they touched Scottsdale, oh shit, we got to get a curfew now.
Yep. That's when they got scared.
Yeah, they overstepped some boundaries going out there and messing around in Scottsdale.
They hit the
One of them-
heart of Phoenix. I mean,
One of the
Arizona.
guys that got arrested out there in Scottsdale was a YouTuber from here in Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got some charges on him too.
Yeah. But it wasn't many.
Jake
It wasn't many
Paul.
brothers out there
It
in
was
Scottsdale.
enough,
Man.
Man,
It's
those
Scottsdale.
that was the clout chasers and the
Most
Yeah.
of the mug shots was white people.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Scottsdale is the heart of Arizona racism.
Right.
That is the racist. Like this, going out and partying in Scottsdale. There is a one black man minimum to get into the club.
Right.
If you show up to the club with 3 black men, I don't care how tight your jeans are. You ain't getting in the club.
that.
I'll tell you, Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't care how tight your shirt is. Tall, white, you would not get in the club if you show up with 3 black men. You have to at least have 1 black man, 2 white dudes, or you need to have some yams, at least 1 black dude, some yams with you.
Right.
You was not getting in the club.
Skin
They
tight.
need to take the protest down to Scottsdale.
Yeah. That'll change some shit quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Make a difference over there.
Yeah.
Can you
They do
imagine
not
all them
want you
people?
there.
Can you imagine all them people walking through the old town Scottsdale like they had yesterday downtown?
Oof. They would lose their mind.
Them white people go damn crazy.
They already did.
You
but
can see it
how-
now walking
Yeah.
down the street. Click, click.
Right. They
Click,
were,
click, click, click,
but the
click.
thing is that a lot of those businesses came out and said some terrible things online.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
a
did.
couple of them. I can't remember the one. I don't want to start
Oh,
stating
Abby.
names. Yeah, there we go. She said some
Oh, yeah.
things online that's probably going to lose her money in the future. I hope that black people don't go back to her establishment.
Yes, a lot of people saying that they're not going back
I
to
mean,
her establishment.
I mean, they should not be.
They're exposing a lot of people.
A lot of people getting exposed.
The
man.
true colors are coming out.
Yeah, man.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
People losing their jobs. But I'm definitely not going to that
Yeah.
establishment.
No.
I can see if these are your private views where you're talking about these with people at home in your
Keep it to
home.
yourself.
Right. But you run a business and these are how you are actually treating customers and talking to people and it's out in the open and we're just not going to take it no more.
But it should, like Mike, it's something that you've been saying for a while that people still go out to Scottsdale and spend all their money when you know they don't want you out there, man.
Right.
No, that's a miseducation of the Negro thing. Because black people subconsciously, we've always wanted acceptance from white people.
Right.
Yeah.
So as soon as the white people let us in the one club, the black people's like, oh shit, I'm in Scottsdale, I get to party now.
Right.
Because I'm like, no, the black people party downtown. The black people party on the west side. Why y'all protesting that shit? No, go to the white shit. Go to the Scottsdale fashion. That was lovely. Even though it was white people down there fucking shit up, the shit was getting fucked up.
Yeah. Right. We can't be damaging our own businesses, man. No. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No,
that doesn't make
sense.
Yeah, it's not gonna bring change at all.
Tear down something that makes a difference.
Yeah. You know I mean, they was burning down the dang police department over there.
That makes a difference.
Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
that makes change.
They weren't playing over there.
But as they broke into a grocery store in Philadelphia that's the only one in the black neighborhood.
Yeah, that's not.
You know what I mean? And only all black people work there. You know that those type things. I'm like, why would they do that? I don't
It's
know.
like were they outsiders that don't know the area?
And that's what I'm also want to say too. You know, there are good people and bad people in all situations.
All situations.
There are people who are out there trying to protest and make their voices be heard, and there's people who's taking advantage of it.
Right.
They're criminals. Regardless of what's going on, there's going to be people who gonna do crazy shit. And nothing you can do to stop them.
Yeah, definitely.
This is how it is, man.
All right, Bossman, tell them about your show and when you go live and your YouTube channel and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you follow me on YouTube at Mike Terrell or all social media platforms, Mike Terrell. Me and my best friend Nico G.
Nico G.
Yeah, Nico G, the educated black man. We just talk our thoughts, man, and we just try to give the people, and I just try to give people stuff that's on my heart, whether they like it or if they don't like it or not. And a lot of niggas out there is like they was talking, like y'all was talking about earlier. They out there clout protesting. I'm seeing a lot of filters.
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of like I don't understand why a nigga sitting down in the middle of the police praying with a
man,
with
wait, that's my man. No. That's my man's. He's about that, man. Don't do that to my boy. That's my man Durant. No, you can't do that. He's about that protest. He's about that.
No, I'm not. No, there was one brother that was laying down on the hot pavement. I don't know who that brother was, but I respected him because I know his skin was burning from laying on the pavement. I know his skin.
You know that street off. Was like 120.
You could put them stakes on there.
Get Mike Terrell off this phone, man.
All right, man. I'm out, man.
All right, bro.
All right, homie. Thanks, man.
Take care.
Out there
cooking out of here, man.
Cooking on the
right. There's some human steaks being cooked.
Man.
My bad. Mike Terrell. That was Mike Terrell, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the dude.
Yeah.
Pay your legend
But
himself.
you see people all over the world doing protests about laying on the floor and stuff. Not here. No.
Right.
Y'all see that hashtag we rocking hashtag Pay Your Legend. That's from Mike Terrell.
Yeah,
Mike
man.
Terrell podcast.
Tell me he needs to make shirts now.
Reach out to him. Reach out to him
ideas.
if you want to get one.
We need to get some shirts. Don't give us our ideas. You know what I mean?
Reach out to him if you want to get one of the Pay Your Legend brims.
Yep.
He probably get one order for you. I know.
They're $500 now.
Right. Prices are up.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Thank y'all for letting me be a little longer with the word on the street news.
It's nothing, man.
And so we got some people that talk about it with actually out there.
We got some
protesting.
good callers today.
Yeah, definitely. I got a couple inboxes from people like, when can I get on the show?
They're like, answer the phone.
Yeah, so let's get into Sister Social.
Sister Social.
Yeah.
Tita, you supposed to be with me on that one.
I'm sorry. I was reading David's comment on Dim.
He always comment.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway,
So
this week I wanted to touch. Well, I did because it's has something to do with what's currently going on in our communities.
it is.
So I wanted to ask you, how does what's going on now with the protesting and George Floyd and basically racism, how do you cope with that, being that you're in a interracial relationship?
Their relationship ain't interracial.
I mean, like,
The Mexican don't count, man. To me, it don't.
You see that, Tita?
It just don't to
he
me.
just completely just X'd you out the picture.
To me, I mean, only
feel
thing
like
that's different,
counts.
we're both minorities. That's why I look
Yeah.
at it. That's why I look at it like that way. And being both us, both blacks and Mexicans are both minorities.
Right.
We see things from the same view on a lot of things. So that's why I don't really think culturally it's more of an issue than it would be racially issues, because Mexicans see just as much racism as black people see, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's definitely something me and Tita both relate to.
Right. So she can relate that way with the racism. Being with someone white,
Right.
they can't fucking relate on
Right.
racism at all, because they have not been a minority.
Like the
So
family
it's
dynamic
hard
of
to-
how racism is discussed in the home
Yeah.
will be a lot more comparable, being that both minority versus being one white, one black, one Asian,
Right.
one
Yeah.
black, one whatever.
whatever.
A lot of people right now, I'm hearing some things like they don't even want some white people down there. You know what I'm saying?
That's dumb
They
shit.
don't. Yeah, so it's
That's
like
just ignorance.
if they want
That has
get
to
them
do
involved
with
and fight the
racism. though.
cause.
I mean, racism goes both ways. You know, you can't be like, oh, I don't want white people to be, and then you can't be racist, because
Right.
then you're being racist
Exactly.
yourself.
Right.
It's
And that's
about
something
ignorance
a lot of
too.
people need to learn.
Exactly.
We can't put everyone in a box if we don't want to be put into a box.
Right.
If we don't like to be stereotyped,
Then
then we
why would we
can't
stereotype
stereotype
others?
everyone else.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we'll joke. It'll be, oh yeah, that white guy, or that Mexican guy, or
Right, right.
that black guy, or the Asian dude and stuff. But it's not like we're not putting nobody down.
We're not saying it's all Asians or all
Offensively.
Mexicans
Right.
or
Right.
all
Yeah.
blacks.
Yeah.
We're not using the word all.
And that's
Right,
what you
right.
have to make sure you do when you speak on things like that, because not all white people go to a certain ideology or speak a certain way. I mean, just like today, we watched on TV where the police officer was clapping for the gentleman who they said not guilty for
Yeah,
pushing down the
protesters were clapping.
75-year-old
Right.
man in Buffalo.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they said not guilty, and there's people out there clapping
Right.
that these guys are saying not guilty for. So they're basically giving their
They're
support.
giving
them-
Right.
They're supporting him, the people who pushed this old man down.
Yep.
So
That's
it's different parties, and it's people who are upset about the old
There's a
man
lot
being
of
pushed
people
down.
upset.
So it's a lot of gray areas in everything, man. And I don't know. It's hard to say for a relationship that's with you guys. I would ask you guys. You probably don't have any problems when you talk about racial issues.
Oh man, I'm gonna be me and talk, like, especially since this happened. Me and Tita been talking like every night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just so there's definitely not no problem. With
Right,
that
right.
situation.
Because I've dated outside my race before, and those conversations are tough with white girls.
With a
You
white
gotta,
girl.
they don't understand. It's just they're not.
Right,
They're
it's
not in
tough.
our skin. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like, for example, I was just telling Daniel about
The
a friend of
privilege
ours.
is real. That's what I'm saying.
That
Right,
she's
right,
a white girl, and I've known her. Me and my other homegirl, we've known her for years, since like elementary, junior high, and we've been friends on Facebook, blah blah. She shared a post from somebody saying something about looters saying they're gonna hit country people.
It was a joke. That was
it was a joke, you know.
But it was messed up joke.
But it was a messed up joke. But she could have been like, no offense, you know. She could have said something like before, after. But she just, you know, shared it. So that's kind of an open mind, you know, description. So my homegirl Ashley, she's like
Gangsta Ashley.
She went gangster on her. She's like, unfriend that bitch. And then I was like, so I was like, you know, I don't really go on there, but when I did, that was the first post I saw. Yeah. And then she's like, unfriend whoever's friends with her, unfriend her. And then she's like, well, I'm not racist. And it's like she's like, nobody gave me like, you know, the you know, choice of, you know, let me explain myself.
Right.
But like Daniel says, it was a joke.
But had she clarified,
if she would have clarified it,
that's the thing is, if you have to explain that it's a joke, you probably shouldn't have posted.
You probably should have posted.
Probably should.
And she could have been like, even when she like commented on it, you know, and screenshot it, her sharing post, so everybody, because she exposed her like the hell out of her.
It's just definitely not the right time to be making jokes.
She could have been like, you know what, I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. Right. I'm not, you know, but she went, well, all lives matter. It's like, it's not about you right now. Like, it's not about you. Like, it's about, you know, right now it's like, you know, are you getting, you know, are you worried about walking down a street and stuff? Like, no. Yeah. You know, sadly, you know, with this going on, white people are gonna be here next. They're not being, you know.
I saw a couple people like you, babe. I know you are interracial. You are mixed yourself. They say, you know, these things start coming up. You know, they start talking about interracial people. Oh, if you're mixed, you don't have a right to say anything. I've seen some people say some things like that. We are using everything to push people away that's helping. And I just don't think that helps.
No, it's
interracial people. It's about where you come from, usually on where you lie on these situations.
Definitely.
Right.
So if you were raised with your white family, you probably agree more with them because that's where you were raised. If you were raised with black people, you probably don't even see yourself as interracial. You probably just see yourself as black.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So the thing is, people need to understand that and stop being so black and white about everything. So people are just where they're from is where they're.
We have a lot of white friends. You know, it's not even about that. You know, it's like Aisha says. It's like she watches it on both sides. It's like everybody. You know, you use your privilege either educationally, racially. You use it. You know, different ways.
Right.
You just have to be open minded with it.
That's one thing I was thinking. You know, when you're mixed, you know, people want you to pick sides.
Right.
Yeah,
you gotta be black side. I gotta be my white side. Same thing with me and Tita. You know, Tita's Mexican, I'm black.
Right.
I'm gonna have to deal with that.
Right.
It's about with interracial kids and people. It's mostly about how you identify.
Right. Right.
Where do you identify? Which side of your culture do you identify with more?
That's why we have people like the Doja Cats who identify more with her white side because she's been raised with white people and that's what she identifies with.
Like I had this friend in high school. She's mixed. Father's white, mother's black. But her skin tone was lighter than me. So she would go to the tanning bed to have my skin color.
But she wanted it as a.
She wanted
to look darker.
But the way she acted and carried herself was more white. So it's kind of like she was battling with herself to figure out: do I want to just, you know, this is me and I'm gonna act like I'm white, or do I accept both, or do I just want to be black?
Just be who you are, man.
Right.
Just be who you
are. I have a couple of friends too who are mixed. Like my one of my best friends, you know, besides Aisha, that's mixed. Christina, she's half you know, Mexican. She for the longest time, I'm not gonna get into that story about her blue eyes being fake, but that's another story. But
take a shot, y'all.
But what's it called? But I never thought she was mixed. You know, like. because there's a lot of Mexicans, Hispanics that don't speak English. I mean, Spanish, or carry themselves like that,
Right.
especially here in America, and depending where you're from and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, and she never really took sides. Like she kind of embraced them both. And then she's like, I'm like, why don't you speak a lot of Spanish and stuff? Like she's like, well, I'm half white. And it's like, really?
So?
Like, it's like, and then she's like, and then like, but I never knew.
Right.
Like, until she told me, and I was like, she's like, but we just really don't speak a lot of Spanish,
Yeah, that's...
It's like people who are half Haitian, half black,
Right.
they don't speak, Haitian.
French.
So it's
Right.
like, so it's just, I guess it depends, like, how you're raised, and
Right.
and mainly, the main goal of everything is how you personalize yourself
Or how you react towards.
how you react, and what you say, what comes out of your mouth,
definitely.
how you're respectful against others. Just
That's
because nowadays there's a lot of mixed people, you guys. So
Oh yeah, that's what we all are mixed.
we are all mixed.
All these boundaries just came as people
Where we look
moved
and-
around, and wars and boundaries came.
Yeah.
So I mean, this how we look has no bearing
Has
on
nothing to
anything.
do
When
with
we
it.
get to talking, we can be here all day.
All
I'm telling you right
day.
now, there's real topics on DanYo&Tita podcast, y'all.
We need to extend our show
Yeah.
for like 3 hours.
But I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna get into the lean perspective. Before Tita, stop slamming on the table, girl.
Oh, sorry. I'm a
Tita's
hands
like,
person.
boom, boom. I just see it. Oh, I'm like, oh Lord.
Everything's shaking and shit.
I hit the mic and everything.
Hitting the mic, playing on the table. We're gonna get into the lean perspective.
The lean perspective. I just want to talk about a couple things that's going on and with all the protests. We have a couple people like in London. There were people protesting, and I thought that was pretty big. We have demonstrations in Europe, Canada, Brazil, Australia. So people all across the world are in solidarity with the United States on what needs to be done to stop police brutality. But a lot of countries around the world looking down on us on how we have handled the protest and how the president has handled it. So it's pretty bad the way that we are being looked upon on the rest of the world. When we have countries like China, which is horrible to their people, and they come out and say how bad that we look because we are pretty much looking as bad as them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bad. North Dakota activates their National Guard for the Fargo protests. I guess they're gonna have protests there. Majority of Americans disapproves of Trump's handling of George Floyd's death.
Oh yeah,
and the
definitely.
response. Majority of people do not agree with
They're
that.
not, yeah.
The NFL, they have issued an apology saying that they were wrong for how they treated peacefully protesting players.
Yeah,
Kaepernick, and I don't think they said his name.
They didn't say his name. Yeah,
which,
they won't
which
say his name.
which they should have.
I think they should give him a public apology.
Yeah.
A public
That's
apology.
close
With
as
his-
they've came so
What's
far.
his name? What's the owner guy's name?
Roger Goodell.
He dropped a video, actual video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but he still won't say Kaepernick's name. Say his name.
And in Philadelphia, officers were charged with assaulting protesters. NYPD disciplined officers who were filmed assaulting protesters. Chicago PD released officers of duty following alleged misconduct, pulling a pair of black women out of their car and pinning them to the ground.
That's ridiculous.
These are some of the things that's going on, and it's as the police officers' actions are being caught on camera during the protests, and they are acting just as bad as the looters and the people that they're saying that they're trying to stop.
Yep.
And what they doing, and they did to Buffalo to that 75-year-old man. They're not calling for the officers to be fired, which is ridiculous. They did go and plead, and they pleaded innocent.
Oh, they did plead
Yeah,
innocent?
they
They
pleaded
pled
innocent.
not guilty.
Yeah, not guilty. Right.
I don't know why they
assault
pushed him in. They
charges.
just sat on it. Yeah.
And this week
We
we had
all did.
Obama come out and said a couple things. I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
What Obama said that 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 what I have found throughout my life is that my strength comes from connecting my story to other people's story, Obama said. And I thought that was pretty strong, a couple of things that he was saying, and show a real president and what the things and some of the measures that we need to push forward, and some of the ways that we can push forward. I thought that he was giving people
really
a blueprint on what we need to do.
It's sad that he had to say something because our actual president can't.
Is a jackass, right? And Maxine Waters, she came out and said she was proud of the protesters also. So it's a lot of people that's coming out and doing some things, man. San Francisco, they're implementing police reforms to safeguard against false accusations from the police. Governor Newsom in Minnesota is also they're looking into banning the strangleholds, period, just all strangleholds. One of the National Guard members have been removed from the National Guard because he was pushing a white supremacist ideology.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, man.
Yep. They're trying to tell him to stay inside.
Yeah,
be
man.
all nice to them, actually.
So we have a lot of things that's going on, man, and a lot of things that's coming to light. And
who's that? What's the black lady? Phoenix. Is she the Phoenix?
You talking about Candace Owen?
Yeah, Candace Owens. She was out there marching.
She was marching.
Man, bump her.
I'm just saying she was out there with the people.
It's just good to see that there's a lot of people like trying to.
I know you ain't, but I just wanted to mention
her and Kanye is two people that could have stayed home.
No, not Candace Owens. No.
Not Candace Owens. Who you talking about?
I'm not talking about Candace. No, forget that.
Is that her? No. Was that the name?
No, I'm talking about Phoenix. The black lady in Phoenix.
The black lady in Phoenix.
She's
There's a lot of those.
The chief.
Marching.
The chief lady.
The chief. Oh, okay.
What's
you
her
talking
name?
about Jerry Williams?
Yeah.
Jerry Williams. Yeah, she was out there marching.
No, she's dope though.
Yeah, not Candace.
Nah, she sucks.
No.
And Kanye sucks too. I want to make sure I say that too.
I just love what this says. As a damn dip.
He's garbage.
He hates Kanye.
I heard a theory about Kanye, but I don't want to.
Man,
we gonna get there.
Don't hit it, Dane. Don't hit it.
He's
No, I'm not talking
so
about that.
whack.
It's something that.
How do you donate?
I mean, don't get into it.
man,
Cause
Did he
dude.
donate just now, or do we?
He's
donate
just a hypocrite. He goes against his own stances. He's
Right.
such an idiot, dog. Dog. Anyway,
They don't like
Disney
Kanye,
guy.
y'all.
Nah, man. The reason why I don't like him so much is because I liked him so much. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. Yeah.
I respect it. I'm from the ill state too. I like the man. But anyway, NBA Players Association approves plan to resume NBA season at Disney World. I'm really excited about that. Get the NBA back. It's starting July 31st. You know what I mean? Everybody will be there. And we have
I thought they only approved 22 teams.
22 teams will be
Wait,
there.
so they're playing at Disney?
Yes.
They're playing in Orlando.
Yeah. A nightly basis in Orlando. Lighter mouth, or they will have the lighter or mouth or nasal swabs testing every day. According to positive tests will result in a quarantine of at least 7 days. They will only bring in the bubble will plan to have 1,600 people in the bubble. And people can leave, but families will be able to replace them. They will have, after the first round of the postseason, neither players nor families will be able to leave the bubble.
See, that's why Kevin Durant don't want to come back.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's the Lean's perspective for this week. But like I said, man, I'm excited for hoop, man. I know it's a weird time, man. But the vaccine may be coming, man. It may be coming. I was watching news early, and they got 133 teams working on the vaccine right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully, man, we can get a vaccine by the end of this year.
Because when they came up with that pill and people were actually getting sick from it.
What pill is that?
Some kind of pill, an antibiotic or something, and then there's supposed to be it was provoking people to have strokes.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of scary. It's
Are you
like
talking
you don't
about
really
that
know if it's
hydrochloroquine that Trump?
Hydrochloroquine?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Trump was talking about. Yeah, but that hadn't been approved
it's
by
just
anything.
scary though.
Yeah.
It's like now we don't know if we don't even know if this is actually real and people are we're taking some kind of what is it
I think it was the hydrochloroquine was a drug that mostly.
It was for malaria.
Yeah,
It was-
malaria
yeah,
drug,
it was
right.
malaria.
yeah
So
that's
And then he came out and said that he does not take responsibility for people's
It's a how you say
Drinking
that.
bleach.
misuse of disinfectants.
Right.
When he's
I mean,
the
it
one that
was-
told him to go
It
use
is
them.
common sense, but bro, it's like
He doesn't take responsibility for
there's
it.
a lot. I'm sorry to say, there's a lot of Americans are as idiots as you.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. That's why they voted for that dumbass.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Man, we had a long, great show today.
Long.
Long.
Yeah, but we,
It's about 15 minutes over.
Yeah, but a lot of info was made.
Definitely.
40
man.
minutes.
I'm
over.
gonna give Dip this theory. Kanye West theory. Maybe he'll change his mind about
Oh
Kanye.
Lord.
No. But
Yeah, I don't think
listen.
that's gonna happen.
I'll listen though.
Yeah, he's like, listen though. Man, great show. Shout out to Mr. Lamont. Shout out to
Mr.
Roqy.
Lamont Hawley, Roqy Tyraid.
I'm sorry that we didn't get to a lot of callers today because it was too good of a conversation. We couldn't stop the conversation.
And them hats though, really nice.
Man, that's what he called for. Shout out to my girl. But yeah, thank y'all for watching today's show.
Right on, people. We appreciate every minute, man.
Shout
every
out to
one of y'all.
Leo because he saved the
Hey,
day.
Croft. What's up?
He's always
What's in them bags you brought us?
Crawford
Leo
here.
is my favorite person of the month.
Crawford been
I had a little. I'm gonna be real. I
got
had a
the,
little bit of hate because I couldn't
we
eat
got?
the steak that my mother-in-law was making yesterday. But then it's like I'm like, Daniel, just tell him to bring
got the,
whatever he can, bring
Got the
it.
vegan cookies.
come on, y'all.
Oh, but I'm like, Daniel's like, Leo's bringing some
What?
burgers.
He
I
got
said,
some
I love Leo.
Kiwi, y'all the best. Y'all the best.
Shout out to
Right
our
on.
sponsors, Kiwi.
Right on, Kiwi. We
Shout out to
appreciate y'all.
everybody. Man,
You guys saved my life.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely shout out to them.
See y'all next week.
See y'all next week.
Take
Holla,
care.
holla.
10 a.m.
Every
every Saturday, DanYo&Tita podcast.
Saturday.
Peace.
We out.
We's out. Let me get that out.